You are really redefining what intelligence is. Intelligence is not this layer of AI that you bring in. Intelligence resides within the company, within the technicians and the data that you own. That's the basis that you are building.
That's our intelligence, yes.
Matthias, it's so nice to have you here. Thank you for finding time to chat with me.
Adam, thanks for inviting me.
You have done something quite unique and something that I haven't seen done by other companies here. You actually took your solutions and you deployed it to 20,000, 25,000 technicians?
Yeah, actually, you're right. We are a very strong service company, a strong elevator company, but we have 25,000 service technicians. So I joined the company a couple of years ago and I'm building on the heritage of the company. One of the core things we do, and the most important things is we do that we service elevators globally. And for that, we have 25,000 service technicians. So every day I get up and think about how can we help them more. So they are better prepared going to the elevator, better prepared going to the escalator, better prepared going to the passenger boarding bridges. So what we do is focus on improving service, also with digital data.
And you don't do it at one elevator at a time. When you do it for all the systems out there that you are responsible for.
That's our goal. So we are scaling currently. So we're already doing it for thousands of service technicians, not 100%.
Okay.
But for thousands of service technicians. And yes, we're doing it at a scale. And that's the complexity. That's the fun part about it. Because doing it for one elevator in one country, you can do.
But that's not the magic that everybody figure out. I see a lot of experimentation with AI. Somebody looking for one use case, solving one production line, one process. How did you get to that level of scale?
First of all, it takes a bit of time. But looking at this whole thing and taking some shortcuts, what we did is
how much time? Like how long did it really take to do it?
To come to this space, we actually were here 10 years ago at the Hanover Fair, exactly 10 years ago, 2016. But just recently, 2 years ago, we reinvigorated our service delivery model, our service operations. We looked at globally best-in-class service companies, how they do service. And we took the best parts for us. And most of the things already existed. We look at the health of the elevator. We look at where the service technicians are in real time. We look at what the customers do. But now with AI and with our digital operation centers, we can bring all of this together. So that's what we have been scaling just last year, North America, across North America.
So I know it's complex. Why would it take 10 years?
The whole thing took 10 years. You can always be faster, but the trick to be faster is to focus on the real problem. Don't focus on a nice to have POC that everybody wants to show off and in some board meetings and so on. What's the real value that you can add to a big problem? And there stay small, stay confined. For sure you can do that faster in a country, in a region, faster for one solution. But if you want to then take it further, scale it, that takes a bit of time.
So this is exactly what I'm observing. Because it's easier to do one particular location, you have a leader or somebody with a vision, they solve it for the problem that they see, and it usually resides there. It never leaves that location.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Clearly, otherwise we wouldn't have those thousands of deployments that never go beyond, and by the way, like if you really step back from it, look at manufacturing, that's how we've been running this business for years now. We've been solving the same problem in different locations over and over again. So when I hear your story, I know that you've done something different. Like there was some magic here that others didn't figure out.
Well, we're proud of it, but I'm quite sure others are also smart. But what we have done is we started this whole journey always with a couple of concepts in mind. And let me just explain two, and then make it very tangible.
Okay.
One is, what's the real business problem we want to solve? We want to improve service. So it's not like some technology is looking for an application, we look for a business problem. And the second part is, also it is technology challenge, but also a real daily business challenge. We call it, or I call it personally, rigidity at the core, flexibility at the edge. That can apply to technology, that you have a rigid core in the cloud and flexibility in the regions, but also applies to our business. So we have globally 400 branches. And these 400 branches are decentral. And that's where the business is done. We have 25,000 service technicians. They know the business. They know the customer. They know the elevator. They know the escalator way better than I do. So we want to be rigid at the core so we can scale, but flexible at the edge so the customer we can help.
Give them opportunity to adjust to the local environments.
Yes.
And Okay, what does that rigidity at the core means? Because that's probably how you set the boundaries of what it is that you allow to change and what it is that you absolutely do not want to change. Because there is an efficiency in having a, in my language, there will be a platform solution.
Yeah, in digital words, it would be data first,
Yeah.
and make it high quality data, and not only once but continuously.
Yeah.
And then you can build around it. You can build processes around it. You can adopt the processes. In Korea, you have different regulation than in Germany, than North America, than China. But the data, what is a unit? What is a service visit? What's a callback? What kind of error codes do we have? That we can standardize. And with that one, we have it there in the center, and then we can scale it, and we can have it flexible on the outskirts.
Was it difficult to figure out what that core is?
Sure.
Did you do it yourself, or did you have an ecosystem to help you, or did you use standards that already exist within the industry, or did you really have to invent it for yourself?
Well, to be fast, let's build on standards. To be fast, let's build on great partners. But we are the elevator industry, we're an elevator business, so it needs to be adjusted to what we do. Right? Maybe there's no standards on what an elevator is or all the components of an elevator. But then we build for sure on good partners like Microsoft. We also work with Databricks and Azure, and we work with other partners. But that we need in the center. Just relying on partners is also the recipe for failure, because we need to have the competencies inside. I don't need to have everyone inside, but I need the core competencies from the business person, the service technician, the really superpowered service technician, the process experts. I need them inside. They need to understand it, and we need to build the competencies, but then we collaborate with good partners here. And we've done that for the last couple of years.
So the way you're framing this, it's a very end-to-end, very complete way of thinking about problem solving. Business first, technology next, your core of understanding of what does not need to change or shouldn't change to achieve the scale. Are there any shortcuts to it? Like, do you really have to do it this way to be successful? Are there things that you can do to speed this process up?
I think the best way to speed this up or to have it at high speed is focus. Focus. And I can't talk about all the other industries. I've worked in other industries, but for our industry, my personal experience is focus makes us fast and helps us to scale fast. Now, sometimes you have to go slow initially to go fast afterwards. So focus for that. You don't have to do it for 10 years and then get results. You get a lot of results on the way, but it takes a bit of time to scale. But that's biggest advice is to focus. And at least my approach to AI beyond the hype is we use all the wonderful technology that's emerging also from your company, right? We're working with the agents, we're working with cloud, we're working with machine learning. Mm-hmm. So use that technology, but augment it with our subject matter expertise. So we are a good service company, a wonderful service company. We're a strong elevator company. We ingrain it in real processes, not in proof of concepts that don't really add value. And the foundation is high quality data. If we bring these four pieces together, at least that's our approach, that's my personal approach to going beyond the hype.
And I like how you're framing this, because you're already redefining what intelligence is. Intelligence is not this layer of AI that you bring in. Intelligence resides within the company, within the technicians and the data that you own. That's the basis that you are building.
That's our intelligence, yes.
Yeah.
We are very well educated, good heritage, very smart people, and they're passionate about what they do. They love to service elevators. They are second generation, third generation elevator people. They love it. And I love to work with them. But they have the intelligence, and I can help them to make best use of their intelligence. But they are the smart people, and we bring this smartness across the world.
How do you connect that intelligence and passion that you already have within the company and the heritage, the history that you have? How do you connect it now with technology that brings the next layer of intelligence, or a different way to even interpret that intelligence in the context of what you do? How you weld it together?
It's an industry challenge, right? Probably.
Yeah,
I guess some of your customers are asking that. Maybe all of them.
I would assume your customers are asking the same question.
Yep. And we haven't found out the secret weapon for everyone, but how we approach it and how I approach it, we do it people first, service technician first, for sure customer first, but now I'm talking about our service. So what we do, we work with our service technicians every day. Also, my digital data AI team, high data experts, but they work with the service technicians every day. They learn to speak the same language. And so what we do, we give the service technicians tools that help them. Now, typically what you see, very smart service technicians, passionate about fixing the elevator, not so passionate about writing up afterwards what they did. Basically, every service company has the same challenge. Great service technicians, they're doing the job, and then they go to the next job. Don't like to type, don't like to write. So what we are now giving them is 2 additional solutions. One is a briefing agent, and is a debriefing agent. And the debriefing agent makes the life of the service technician so much easier because he doesn't have to write, he can speak to the agent.
So yes, if you just make life of people easier,
Yes.
then you can merge these two worlds together. And your workforce, I would assume, is mostly technicians. That your company is mostly people actually touching those elevators where they are being deployed when they're sitting in the environment.
Yes. So we have 50,000 colleagues, and 50% of them, so 25,000.
So a lot of people that need to interact and understand what's happening in real time when those systems are once in a while breaking.
Yeah. Can I add to that one point you said? Because I was trained 10, 15 years ago in my previous company by a couple of colleagues who came from IDEO, Design Thinking. Wonderful company, right? But they really are very smart of bringing these 3 lenses together. For sure, there needs to be a business. For sure, there needs to be technology that works. But only if you bring it together with the user experience, with the customer experience, all these 3 things together, then you really have innovation that can scale.
Okay, you're bringing another piece of it, because we looked at it from a perspective of you as the company that manages and makes sure that elevators work all the time. What is the other side? What is the customer perspective? What do they see this in the world as?
Customers, the ultimate goal is customer satisfaction, and a big part of that is very good communication, very good service, and uptime. Uptime. The elevator need to work.
They don't want to see it not working. Yeah.
Just imagine, right? I talked to your colleague. Just imagine you came from Seattle, you go to Poland, you go to vacation and go back to Seattle. Just imagine these airports.
I took a lot of elevators.
No escalators. Imagine New York without elevators. Can you imagine just at the bottom of a high-rise building? I was in Korea. At the bottom of a high-rise building, the elevators were working, but still at the bottom of the elevator, you had a queue in the morning at 9 o'clock, 100 meter long.
Yeah.
It sucks, right? It's not good. So what we need to ensure is that the elevators work perfectly all the time. So uptime is the ultimate goal.
So you're right. Every time I see an elevator doesn't work, that just destroys my day because I cannot get to where I'm going. I'm late. I'm frustrated.
And you're still young. Think about your mother.
That's right. Do I want to see a smart elevator? Is there an intelligence in the device itself, in the elevator, that goes beyond maintenance?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Yes. So it's biggest part of our business service that we talked about it. For sure, we are also building, manufacturing, designing, and selling elevators before they go to service. And there's one element of service, but also the passenger experience and the customer experience are very important to us. So you enter the elevator, and it looks nice, it looks clean, it looks safe, and now you even have interaction with the elevator. Here you see an avatar that we brought to the fair, or you have a big touch screen where you press the buttons to go up and down. You get the news, the latest news of sports which you like, or as a suggestion for a meal. You can see all of this in the elevator, and it gives you just, I think, a good experience for 30 seconds.
So making it a part of your life because you are in that elevator for as long as you're in it. It's part of your daily journey, journey to your office, to home.
It should be a nice journey.
Yeah, and it can be
good experience.
Yep.
And that's what we want to provide for the passengers. And for sure, the customers are going to be happy if the passengers are happy.
So a lot going on with elevators, more than I ever thought there is. And you clearly are super passionate about it.
Yes.
And I see why your technicians would be, but why are you passionate about elevators?
Because it's a valuable piece of technology that really helps mankind. It really helps people. It has meaning. There's sense to it. You go to a city of New York, just imagine without elevators. It's really helping the people move in a city. It's helping my grandmother, unfortunately she died, but it was helping her going up to the 5th floor. She couldn't have done it. It's helping elderly people in all the cities around the world to get where they want to be, to get to their home. So it's really relevant, not only in cities and high-rise buildings, but also we talked about airports. is infrastructure, soccer stadiums, right? You go to a soccer game, there's so much, there's real value in these elevators.
Because sometimes we get lost in a virtual world. We think everything lives in the digital world, but elevators are the incarnation of the physical component. Like we are physical beings. We still move ourselves from A to B. So you need those elevators to...
My uncle, right? He's a bit older than I am. Great guy. He unfortunately now is in a wheelchair. Many places he couldn't go to without a wheelchair. Just entering the train from A to B. First, you have to go to an elevator up and down. If you're in a wheelchair, the world is different. And we help these people, these colleagues, my uncle, to really keep moving. We keep the world moving.
What's next for you? What's going to happen at this show a year from now, 2 years from now? Where are you taking the company?
Well, simple, right? We continue to innovate. We continue to shape the future. Some smart person said the best way to invent the future is to shape it, to build it. So I like that. I like to shape the future because it's relevant. I want to leave something behind. So what we do, I don't know which technology will be next. Nobody talked about agentic AI, maybe, or not many people at least, talked about it 24 months ago. So technology will change, but how we take that one, how we continue to innovate, to co-innovate, to co-create, that's going to be a continuous iteration next couple of months and years. And then my goal is to scale it, bring it to our service technicians, bring it to the passengers, bring it to our customers. That's what we're working on.
Thank you so much for shaping that future for us. All of us need it. And thank you for the conversation.
Adam, thank you.